Hand, grab underneath of your riding hand, fold down, and then let go. And now you're two-handed. Grab here, fold down, let go.
Then if you go back to one-handed, okay, and then you just have to go back down to get the rest.
Yep, you're right back. You're right back in the same rein length, because you're, and then you're right back in the same rein length. So when I start asking them to stop out in the middle of the arena here, I keep that same idea. What I think I'll have you guys do, maybe all of you go over to that rail for a minute. So I have this open here, and I'll show you a little bit. I very rarely fix my horse in the stop. Okay? You notice everything we did in that lollipop idea was made out of anticipation. I want to do the same thing when I work on the stop. I don't want to fix on the stop. I want to get my horse anticipating what might come after the stop. Okay? So again, if we go back to that lollipop idea, now we have built 3 tools on our horses this morning that can allow us to help teach our horses to stop better. Okay? So I've got a turn to the left, I've got a spin to the right, and I've got a backup now. Okay? The basic rule, and this is not a concrete rule, but the basic rule is this. If I go down and ask my horse to stop and I say whoa, and he just keeps on going, I'm gonna back him up. Right? He wants to do one thing, we do the other. He wants to keep going, I say whoa, and I back him up. If I go down and ask my horse to stop, and he stops, but he hits that front end, what's that mean? That means the front end's not loose and up, right? You guys follow me there? I'm going to turn him around, okay? Because realize that the mechanics of this turnaround are exactly the same as the mechanics in the stop. You want their hind end solid and firm, you want their head and neck soft, and you want their front feet pedaling, right? Okay? Now I have the option of turning either left or right, and I'll show you how to decide which one you want to do. But those are essentially the three questions that I'll ask the horse after a stop to get them to stop better. Okay? So we'll just jump in here. I'll stop this for a little bit. So this is kind of the next step. I'm on a colt. I just got him done stopping on the fence. He's stopping pretty good. I'm going to start weaning him off the fence. Whoa. Not bad. Okay? Then I'm going to ask him a question anyway. I'm going to figure out, oh no, I don't like that. Right? I don't like that backup. Bracy up here. So I'm going to work on that backup. While you guys are watching, I'm having it, I'm making sure that's a little bit better backup. Make sure that you realize that not only have we laid the foundation for our horses, we've laid the foundation for ourselves. Your hands stay just as slow stopping them outside of the fence as they did when they were in the fence. I want to be able to go up. Whoa. Ask a question. That time he answered it pretty good, right? So if I ask him a question and he answers it perfectly, it's okay. It's still good that you answer the question, but it's probably not the right question you should be asking. That makes sense? Go look for the question that he doesn't answer well. Oh, I don't like that. There, now I like it. Let's go do it again. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to guess. I'm going to go down and stop and I'm going to ask him that same question again. Whoa. Hey, that's better. I'll take that. Not bad. But I'm going to go ask him again. You know what? He asked that one pretty good. Oh, what if I asked him this one? Oh, he missed that one, didn't he? See what I'm saying? The point of it is don't make your horse stop. Okay? Don't ask them questions afterwards that are going to allow them to do the stop on their own. Most of the time, people get in their own horse's way when they stop. So it is nothing to me to go and ask multiple questions after a stop. I might go up. Ask him back up. You know what? That's not bad. What if I asked you to do this? I don't like that. I'll work on that in a minute. We're going to go do it again.
Kind of seems like you're going back, like we were talking about yesterday, how some people just make their horse go through the motions so it knows motions, where this you're kind of throwing different things
Yep.
at them to where they
That's
have to,
exactly
they
right.
actually have to rein.
That's exactly right. You know what? So a confused horse is going to stop the best.
Yeah.
Like when he runs down, he goes, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" That's what's going to keep his front end up out of the ground, right? Because he knows we might turn. We might turn. But he's going to make sure he parks his hind end, because if he doesn't, he's going to get asked to back up. You know what I mean? And that's what allows for those horses to go down on that loose rein and be told to stop, and they are responsible for their own body. They're responsible for their own frame. And that's what creates, just like in the lollipop idea, those horses that can go down on a big draped rein, they drop that neck, and they get really good in the front. It's because they are responsible. They are responsible for holding that position. And the way you make them that way is get them anticipating what question you might ask them afterwards.
Well, it seems like it would work for cows too. Say you're in the gate talking pairs apart or sorting drives or something, and wait. Okay, now I need to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I need to go in now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I had something to add on that. I'll figure it out. It'll come loose here in a second. Oh, that's what it was. So the only thing I want to point out now, so right now, again, we're kind of in a transition. We're on this colt, greener horse, trying to get him away from the rails, parking him out here. Great. But now I want you guys to understand one thing. That stop is only as good as how you get there. Okay? If you think about an airplane going to a takeoff, the takeoff is the stop. Okay? What are the two things that airplane has to do in order to take off correctly? It has to go straight, and it has to build speed gradually, doesn't it? It has to, so that when it's at takeoff, it's at the speed it needs to be. Same thing here. Okay? So if the stop is only as good as how they get to it, it's only as good as the rundown. The rundown is only as good as how you turn the corner, right? If your horse doesn't steer around the corner, how do you expect that horse to be straight when you start your rundown, right? Well, guess what? We already said all that. We did it in the lollipop. So if you think about those patterns where you come around the end, here's your round end. Nice job, Blackie. Here's my stick. Oh, you know what? He's ready. Does that make sense? I use that same lollipop idea, that steering idea, to set him up back there to be successful down here. Okay? And what a lot of people don't think about is they want to focus on what's happening down here, but honestly, how you approach that stop is what's going to make or break that stop. Okay? And then what you do after that stop is what's going to fix that stop. Round end here, that's a great question and answer. I might pick up and just see, yeah, not back, right up. Is that making sense? Just kind of follow me how it's all pieces together? Wonderful. Okay, so with that said, what I do want to do, I want to start working on individual deals. You want to do the lead change? Is that what you're thinking? I'm just going to go down the line. So, yeah, lead change. Okay. Well, instead of horses in the world can change leads, watch them out in the pasture. The only thing that screws up the lead change is us. Okay. So therefore, we have to keep the lead change very, very simple. All right. Not a simple lead change. Just keep the lead change very, very simple. And so the next rule to that lead change is that a change of lead is not connected with a change of direction. They are two separate maneuvers. Just because you change your horse's lead from left to right does not mean that you go to the right. Okay? So with that said, the reason when we start teaching our horses to change leads, we want to teach them to change leads on a straight line. Okay? So that we don't associate the change of lead with the change of direction. And the easiest way that I do that, now I'm going to have you guys all come right out here in the center. The easiest way that I do that is I put my horse in the counter can. Those of you who don't know what counter can are at this point of the game today, is just loping in the wrong lead on purpose. Okay? If you're in the wrong lead, you're in the wrong lead. But if you're loping in the wrong lead on purpose, you're in the counter can. Okay? And we do that with and give them an opportunity to go to a place where they can be comfortable. All right? And so what I'll do in the beginning is I put them out on the rail on a big rectangle in a counter can. Now around here, I'm not going to get terribly in depth in the counter can because I can do a whole trick on the lead itself. All I'm going to do is get around the ends in the wrong lead. But when I get on this nice long straight line, I'm just going to ride forward. Simple as that. I'm just going to look up and ride straight forward. Now, I always give this warning in my clinics because most people are taught to change leads by pushing a horse over, changing legs, changing leads. Okay? And I'm not going to say that I don't do that in my training. Okay? But it is not part of my end result. And the reason I don't want it to be part of my end result is because there's two major flaws with teaching one to finish that way. The biggest one is it teaches a horse to anticipate. I see it all the time. The rider starts setting that horse up and he goes, I know it's coming, I know it's coming, I know it's coming. Okay? Anytime a horse is anticipating doing a maneuver, they will not perform that maneuver to their best ability. Okay? That's the first thing. The next thing is by pushing them over, changing legs, changing leads, you're essentially, if you think of your horse like a boat, you're essentially taking 1,100 pounds, throwing it one way, and then throwing it back the other way. It's hard. What I'd rather do is my boat just go straight down the line, and his legs go from this to this. Okay? The next thing is, and we've already done the work, we've already done the homework on this to make this happen. Any maneuver you start doing, think to yourself, no matter how green your horse is, think to yourself, what do I want this horse to be when he's finished? All of our goals should be that if I'm loping Blackie in a right lead, and I want to change to the left, I'm loping around my hand down. First gear, loping, I want to change leads, I push my right leg, he changes leads, I take my leg away, and we keep loping in first gear. That should be our ultimate goal. And it can be that simple. It can be. I know you don't believe me, but I'm going to show you that it can be.
Hope with the fruit flags just came out.
If I want to change leads, what's my ultimate goal? Alright, so I'm loping Blackie around him in the right lead. Okay? I'm riding around, my hands down, I'm in the first gear. I'm loping, nice and pretty and cute, right? I want to change to the left lead, I push my right leg in, he changes leads, I take my leg away, and we keep going. It should be that simple. And it can be. Okay? The work that we've already done before this is when we've been doing our lollipop exercise, I talked about put your leg in first, then take a hold of your horse's face. Where most people get into trouble with the lead change, there's two places where they get in trouble in the lead change. Number one, they don't have enough forward motion. Forward motion in the lead change is your friend. Okay, it is not your enemy, it is your friend. They don't have enough forward motion. The next thing is they don't have enough forward motion because they want to hold on to their horses first and change leads second. Okay? That does two things. First thing it does is it sucks all the forward motion out of your horse. Second thing it does is it sweeps any of the problems that horse might have right under the rug. And then when I tell you, put your hand down, change leads, what are they going to do? Take off. Right? It's okay if they take off. I encourage you. Like you're going to see Blackie, he's going to take off a little bit too. That's fine. That is totally fine with me. So, questions so far? No? We're good? Okay. So, I'm going to put him in a counter can. I'm just going to get him around here. I'm going to change leads in front of you guys. Take you through the whole step. Here, I'm just looking up, hands down, riding forward. No tricks. I promise you, I'm not doing any tricks. Now, I'm going to look around that good check, put my hand down, I'm just going to slowly start pushing my left leg on him. He's going to dive in, I don't care. I'm going to keep that leg on. Now, he changed leads there. Now I'm going to bring my hand in, slow him down, turn him loose. Alright, so, darn sure it was not perfect. Darn sure it was not perfect. What does he think my leg means? He thinks my leg means dive that way and change leads. All we got to do is erase number one. But more important to me is, after he changed that lead, did you notice when I did finally bring my hands in, he was right there, wasn't he? Nice and soft, slowed down right away. That is what I look for more when I'm training the horse to change leads than I do anything else. Everything else is just going to happen. But if that horse begins to gain confidence and understand that he doesn't have to run off, he can stay soft, and he can stay straight, Pretty soon we erase all that, and then we've got that horse that I talked about. Okay? So now I have a goal, I have a job to do on this next one. Where he dove in on me, I'm gonna have to really ride him forward and try to really get him down that way so we kind of avoid that diving in and stuff. Okay? Now again, there's 1,000 exercises I can do to fix this one, but I'm using him as a demonstration for you guys. So I'm gonna change on the backside now, so I don't get in the habit of changing on the same wall. I need to look up there. I'm gonna push that leg on. Wait, now. He changed lead. I take that leg. I keep that leg in. Take a hold of his face. So he stops. Now my legs go away. Now my hands go away. Make sense? But I let him make mistakes. He got a little up here, right? After he changed leads. But how much better was it than the one before? And that's the last problem people get into with any maneuver, but especially with lead change. They expect it to be perfect right now. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. It just has to be a little better. It has to be a little better every single time. If you are doing your job right, it should get a little better every time. And if it gets a little better every time, all that means is you have to do more of it until it is perfect, right? And so that dispels one of those myths that you should only change leads one time each way a day and not do it. That's nonsense. I'll change 100 times a day if I need to. No big deal. I do my job, and this horse needs to learn. As long as he's getting a little better every time, all I can do is more repetition until he gets it perfect. Right? Yes.
So, with one direction, she will do a hop sometimes.
Probably right to left.
Probably going to do it.
Because yeah, exactly.
So, what's your options to get her over that?
Okay. So I'm guessing on you. I'm guessing because she told me when you're loping that left circle, she looks to the outside.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have my flag, but you can bear with me. If you're loping a left circle and she's looking to the outside, she wants to travel in this arc, right?
Yes.
Heads to the outside, that means the ribs are in, that means the hips are out. Well, that means that she's probably gonna have trouble changing right to left because she's gonna have to bring those hips all the way over here, right? Okay, so first thing that I would want you to do is work in the left lead, in the counter canter. Okay? So because now you tricked me into showing them how to counter canter correctly. Alright. So when you counter canter correctly, anytime you hear that word counter, it means a horse that is looking one direction while traveling another. So I'm in a left lead. I want to maintain a left lead arc. So my horse's head is fit to the outside, and the way that I get around the corners is by taking my outside leg and pushing the hip around. So I maintain that arc even though I'm traveling to the right. Does that make sense? Push my leg in, his nose stays tipped to the outside, and I push his hip. Can you see that better, Sandy? Okay? That makes sense to you? So I would want to do that first.
Okay.
I would want to make sure that button works first.
Okay.
Yes. So then, what I would do, and it'll work on this one, is I'll change that lead, but I'll change counter canter to counter canter. So if I started in the right lead,
Now that's self-implement.
so I'm pushing that hip out here. If you can picture him like a boat, and his hips are like a rudder on a boat, I've got my left leg back, pushing that hip over there. And I'm going to cut right behind you guys because I've got room. I've got his nose sitting to the outside. I'm going to push that hip right around to here. Now, I'm going to ask him to change leads, and then I'm going to ask him to counter canter this other way. See that? And so, Sandy, with your particular horse, the reason she hops is because your rudder's not broken up. Your rudder only swings halfway.
That's probably causing a lot of problems.
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so when you are counter cantering left, and you're gonna get ready to, you let that horse kind of work in to the
so to answer your question is I'm gonna let them make that mistake. And then what I'll do is I'll spend a lot of time in the lead change, but also while I'm loping a circle, I'll spend a lot of time pushing my outside leg on their hip, and then bump that nose to the inside. Say, when I push this leg on, you look there.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Push that leg on. But so what I would tell you is different about what you said. What I do is I want to see them make a mistake first.
Okay.
I don't want to mechanically push them there because then they'll learn how to get there on their own. Make sense? Okay. So you're gonna try it.
Okay.
All I want you to do, get out there in the counter canter, on the rail. We're gonna jump in this thing feet first. Pick my hand up, and I expect them to be soft in the face and moving off of my outside leg, right? Everybody's pretty clear on that?
Yep.
Okay. And then, that does not mean lope off. I do not expect my horse to lope off when I do that, okay? I want them to wait until I kiss to lope off. Everybody pretty clear there? Okay. Well then realize through basic horse training, pressure release, when I lope off, the only cue that has to go away is the kiss. Because this doesn't have anything to do with lope off, right? So I talked a lot about following through with your lead departure. Just like you follow through with the basketball or hitting the golf ball, learn to follow through with your lead departure. So you take a hold, pick up, lope them off. Now I'm gonna hold right here.
Why?
Hold, and look at all this trash I've got. I'm gonna hold till I get that. Now watch what she'll do. Now she's gonna go up and she'll drop that in. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. So did you ask why?
I did.
Okay, so you noticed as soon as I loped off, where her head and neck goes, she went out here, didn't she? And the reason is because she's used to being turned loose when she does that. And she's used to just getting to go out here.
Okay.
And then I watch poor Sandy go and show her, and she lopes off in the middle, puts her hand down, and by the time she gets to that first cone, she's going, what are you doing? Get in the frame, get in frame, get in frame. Right? Well, that doesn't look very good to the judge, does it? Okay?
Or execution.
Yeah. But if we just watch our habits every day, and we learn how to follow through every day with our lead departures, and we hold, and we hold, and we hold, and we get that, look how much prettier that circle is right off the bat. Right?
You do that in the legion too.
That's exactly right, Sandy. Thank you. And so the same thing, that's the same idea I'm telling you guys to do with the lead change. After they change, follow through with it. Keep your leg on, keep your hand on, not just until they change it, but until they slow down out. See that? Okay, so it's the same thing, right? It wasn't perfect right off the bat, but it got a little bit better every time. That just means I need to do more of it. And that time she took 2 strides and said, oh, I know where I'm supposed to be. Look at that. I put my head down, now I can show. Does that make sense? Here's mud. I want you to try that. Both of you on the end. We're going to go one on one end, one on the other. We're going to lope those guys off a little bit. Take a hold of space, take a hold of space. And actually, I'm going to have you go 2 hands. I'm going to have you go 2 hands. And the reason is, Tom, we talked about this earlier. We've got him in the hand, he's always wanting to look to the outside and he goes off. We want to get him, just like we were on Friday, pushing that right leg up to that right on. Okay, right? Push your leg on, take a hold. Go forward, guys. Go forward. Now go off. Hold. Lean. Got it. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Now, kiss. Now, kiss, kick, kiss, kick, kiss, kick, kiss, kick, kiss, kick. Good job. You guys understand that? So as soon as he kicks that horse, he feels that left leg, he wants to suck back. He wants to do the exact opposite of what that horse does. So all he's doing with kicking that outside leg is he's saying, keep your feet moving, keep your feet moving, keep your feet moving. This would be another place where I can row. I'd set up and I'd take my coils on my outside, and I'd go kiss, kiss, whack, until he loped off.
So on that, on his, you driving with that outside leg too? Or
He's
is he
pressing
holding?
right now, but he's having to kick once in a while.
Okay.
Because that horse gets so
I
pressed
do want
that
to
he
go
gets
over
the
here.
On something like that, you were doing earlier on her lead change,
Nice job, buddy.
where you had her side pass because it wasn't respecting that pressure, could you do that here also?
fixes the broken parts. If they fix this broken part, lead change is easy. All they have to do is apply what they're doing here to a lead change, and you'll nail it. Those are beautiful. Let's swap in. Stop. Tom, you go to the left. Did that make sense to you, Tom, with your coils, with your rope? You can hold that on the outside instead of having to kick. You can take your rope, hold it on your outside, kiss, whack, kiss, whack, kiss, whack. You just keep moving with your outside leg. Hold that. Go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. Turn loose. Turn loose. Push your leg on, take a hold, release. That's beautiful. That's exactly where you want it to go. Leg comes on first. Now kiss, 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 release. How's that? Nice, right? Gonna have a walk and see that again. Push that leg on, hold. Release. Push that leg on, take a hold. You're fine. You are fine. Now release. Great job. He made a mistake, but who cares? Right? Who cares? Now turn loose. Let's do one more. How you doing, Tom? Follow through. Follow through. Little deeper. Release. Really loose. Nice job, Tom. Really nice. Try to give me one more. Look where you want it to go. Look where you want it now. Kiss, kiss, hold, release. That is fantastic. Good job. Both of you, good job. All right, both of you stop for a second because I got another soapbox spiel. One problem, there's a lot of trainers who will teach their horses to go faster by squeezing on them. If they squeeze, that means go faster. I'm not going to argue with those guys because some of them win way more money than I have. But I want you guys to give me this thought. I said to somebody earlier that I want to train my horses so that my grandma can get on and be safe. Okay? One of the biggest complaints I hear from people when they come out of the show pen is, oh my God, he got caught in there. He got fast. Okay? And it happens to a lot of people who teach their horses to go faster by squeezing on them. Human nature is when a rider gets anxious on a horse, the first thing they're going to do is squeeze. And if that horse has learned how to run when you squeeze, he says, oh, you want to go faster? Okay. So the horse goes faster, so what's the rider do then? Squeeze harder. Oh, you want to go faster? And then if you have some dude at your place riding one of your horses and he's trucking out across the hills, head to God knows where, with no brakes. Okay? And I think the same thing happened. That's actually how I stumbled across it. I got to train dude horses for one summer, and that's how I stumbled across it. But I think the same thing happens to show horses. The exact same thing happens to show horses. So if anything, what I want to teach my horses to do is slow down when I squeeze on them. Because if the worst thing one of my riders does is go in there and can't get their horse to move, I'll probably take that, except for you, Tom. Okay? Because they're at least going to stay safe. We can build on that, right? But that goes back to that heart and soul of that lead department. Pushing that leg on, stay slow. Don't take off on that, right? But it also has a practical application to it too, keeping people safe. Okay?
So how do you fix that?
Running on?
Well, just like the leg pressure and accelerate.
Yep. First thing you have to do is be slow with your hand. You have to be willing to let them make that mistake. And then once they make that mistake, you keep that pressure on, and you show them they don't need to do that anymore. Bring your hands in because they're slow and soft, turn loose, and then you need to do it again. Until eventually you can push that leg on and just go right here. That's what we're looking for. Okay. How about on those colts? Anything specific problems that we want to work on? And so his belly follows out, where his hind feet? They're out behind you like a rope steer. How are they supposed to be upright in here, right? Okay. Sandy, guess what? I get to ride with you.
That horse
So
hasn't done much
I
today.
showed you guys horse to stop on whoa. But to be fair, I want you to understand that I have multiple cues on all my show horses that mean the exact same thing. In the stop, for instance, I want to be able to go up, my hand down, whoa, and have them stop. Okay? The next one that I teach them is called the draw. Okay? Draw into a stop. And what a draw is just saying whoa with your hands. Okay? So I am not pulling them in the ground. I'm not coming down here. If I come down here, they're in trouble. A draw is drawing their withers to my hand, their shoulders to my shoulders. Pick up here, they should come to a stop. Again, you don't want to have to pull on them, better really skin. Okay? But on a situation like this, when you draw, it can be very telling. If you use that draw just as another question in your lollipop exercise, it can be very telling about what your horse's frame was, the stride before you drew on. Does that make sense?
Because like I was thinking, all right, so he's not building up, he's not getting that ass under him, obviously following out. So that's why it's all right, maybe drive a little bit, try to round him out before I stop.
Yep, and that's what everybody's going to want to do.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad idea. It's just not a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay? What I would rather them do is start to anticipate that draw so that they hold themselves in a position to be ready to answer that question.
Okay.
Okay? So, if I'm cruising this one around, like you said, like right around here, you were thinking to yourself, I should get in the drive. That's a draw. See, she did it. Now I'm going to fix it. I'm going to say, hey, Mary, you cannot drop your belly. You got to keep your belly up. Okay? Let's go do it again. Here's my rundown. Draw. Good job. One fix and she's done. That makes sense?
You're not talking to us?
I didn't say a word. So I don't care who it is for you. So, again, it's a question and answer. Here's the round end of my lollipop. Here's my stick. And I'm just going to go. And she did it again, didn't she? No, I just fixed it. I used my turnaround or my backup. It doesn't matter. I got my right leg in her, saying, hey, you got to keep that belly up. Keep that belly up.
So we're doing two things: we're keeping that belly up and we're keeping the front feet moving, which will obviously stop.
I can actually simplify it even more than that. If you can picture a piece of string tied for her wither to your hand, all you're doing is controlling her wither, like a puppet. Right? That's all you did when you drew. Is you said, I want your withers to come here.
Yep.
Right?
So that also goes back to what we're talking about picking them up as you're picking them up.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So Cameron, you're drawing her up. You're still setting up. Or you're still sitting back. You're setting up for the rest of your body. Or are you just working on her mind?
I should always be, in my rundown, I should
You're
always
always
be in
set
stop
up.
position.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from here, if I've got that string tied to her wither, instead of picturing her ring tied to her face, picture tied to her wither, you're just going to go, wait, come here. And when she fails that question by coming up here, you can pretty much assume that when you drew on her, her withers went down.
So right after that stop, like you said, go into picking up the middle, picking. All right, I feel it.
Keep picking on Cameron.
No, that's fine. Good questions.
You drew on her, she went down, how, what's the difference in how you get the hand of the razor? On that one? When you drew, you said when you drew on, the front end went down.
How did I know
I
that?
get to know the difference of what he was doing that was wrong and what the right way to get him to.
Well, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't doing anything wrong. I'm just helping giving him a visual to clarify. He's going to get to do it again to help fix it. But the point is, if you stick with that basic idea that we started out this morning of that lollipop exercise, it really does not matter what you do. It really does not matter what you do, so long as you know why you do it.
You're just always asking questions.
Exactly. So like with your horse, and I should add this too. One of the biggest tricks to being a good horse trainer is understanding if I do something, everything has its place. Everything has its place. But if I do it too much, what's going to happen? What's the negative of that? Of doing it too much. Drawing on one too much, guess what it'll do? It's going to quit running. They're not going to run. Yeah, yeah. So, like, let's say, for instance, try to troubleshoot for you 3 weeks from now. Okay? Let's say, for instance, now you're running, like, he turns that corner, I ain't gonna go. I'll stay right here. gonna go back. I'm gonna get away from what we were talking about for a second. I'm gonna go back to the whoa. If I go in and say whoa and draw, she's gonna tell me what's wrong with that stop. I'm gonna go in and whoa and draw. Little step right there, right? Now I can work on that. Then I can go do it again.
If you don't give her a second to think about it, you just go right back into it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They think faster than we do.
No, I'm just, yeah, it's just that.
And draw. See that problem right there? I'm gonna fix it. Soften that, get that belly up, get those withers up. Get those withers up, see where my hands are. But I guess if I had